Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, guys, and welcome to another video of Diving Trader. My name is Daniel, and today, guys, we're doing an update on Gevo Stock. This is a company that I've had for over a year now. Over a year, it's taken an absolute beating. If we go back and have a look at the price back a year ago, so back here on 22nd of February, for example, we're up near like $11, and now we've hit down to all-time lows at $3.11. So it's over a 72% decrease. Now, this is normal. This is what's been happening in the market for companies that are not profitable, are still growing. So these growth stocks have actually taken an absolute beating. It's not to say that it will drop more. It probably will do, based on the fact that the way the markets are going with interest rate hikes, and also the Russians invading Ukraine. I would expect we still to see a lot of volatility in the market and probably a lot more negativity. So it's something that they need to be looking out for. I think at these prices, an absolutely bargain. To be honest with you, I'm actually down. Have an average. I've been buying down on the dips and probably have an average around about $6 now. So I'm down, sort of 50%. So I've taken a beating. I haven't actually bought more recently, and I'm probably planning to buy more to bring my average down. Having said that, I still, like I mentioned, I still could see this actually dropping down further shortly. So when it gets to below $3, I will be buying more to average my cost of the shares that I have in Gevo. Now, Gevo is a renewable chemicals company. Basically, we'll have a look at what they do at the moment. So this is something really for the future, long-term hold. This is nothing that's you're going to be looking at for the short term. They're expanding. They're really investing money into their facilities that they're having to be able to meet the demand. Now, when I'm talking about meeting the demand, they have the product, they have the chemistry, shall we say, the product. Having said that, they need to scale up. They need to scale to be able to meet the demand. And we'll talk a little bit about that in the next article. Now, this week on the 24th of February, on Thursday, they actually announcing their fourth quarter results for 2021. So this should be quite interesting. Whether there'll be a lot of price movement will be interesting to see. Like I said, based on Russians invading Ukraine. So whether it will actually affect the market or not, whether the price will move, it remains to be seen. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on that for this week. So keep that in your diary for this week on the 24th of February. Now let's go into the next one. Let's have a look at this. Now this is something that's quite interesting, and this is actually quite promising. The U.S. Department of Energy Bioenergy Technologies Office empowers energy companies and aviation stakeholders by supporting advances in research, development, and demonstration to overcome barriers for widespread deployment of low-carbon, sustainable aviation fuel. SAF, made from the renewable biomass and waste resources, have the potential to deliver the performance of petroleum-based jet fuel with a fraction of its carbon footprint, giving airlines solid footing for decoupling greenhouse gas emissions from flight. Okay, so yeah, this is a promising. So this is good that the government are backing this up, and hopefully this could be a catalyst for speeding things up. So let's see what happens shortly. Another article here, really quite interesting, just to give you an idea of what we've just mentioned in terms of the product being there, but it needs to meet the demand. Now, it's probably really quite a far away, and when I say far away for Gevo, we're probably looking at about another 2 years before they can actually be able to boost the revenue to a point where they will be able to have profit. And we'll have a look at that, but hopefully this could happen soon with these sort of assistance, or these sort of help that we're getting from the government, right? They actually used 100 million liters of sustainable aviation fuel in 2021, sorry. Willie Walsh tells the CNBC, which is actually very, very little. 100 million liters for aviation is nothing. The environmental footprint of aviation is considerable, with a worldwide fund describing as air travel as currently the most carbon-intensive activity an individual can make. So yes, there's a lot of focus on aviation in terms of the automobile, in terms of cars, etc. This is not an issue because they're being replaced. We can see companies like Tesla, Neo using batteries. So batteries for aviation is not going to happen anytime soon. It's not workable. It probably would be in another 15, 20 years time at least, but for now it's not. So there's a lot of look or focus for aviation to using these biofuels, right? So sustainable aviation's fuel mains challenge relates to volume rather than airline. So airlines desire to use it. So this is what we've been talking about. So the demand is there. They just need the scalability to meet this demand. Okay, so we used about 100 milliliters of in 2001. That's a very small amount compared to the total fuel required for the industry. So looking ahead, Walsh said airlines had ordered 14 billion liters of SAF. I think that addresses the issue of whether airlines will buy the product, he said. Walsh noted this will happen even though the prices of SAF was about 2.5 times the price of jet kerosene. Okay, when you factor in the cost of carbon, you may be looking at twice the price of kerosene. Okay, so the demand is there, and the price it's not going to be saving money really. It's not going to be a cheaper. It's not going to be a cheaper alternative, and I think everyone's aware of that. It's just going to be more environmental friendly. So, I think over time, it will get cheaper, but initially we'll be looking at an expensive fuel, which will in turn obviously affect the consumer, right? So if you're taking a flight prices will be more expensive. With appropriate government policy support, ATA says it expects to see SAF produced production hit 7.9 billion litres by 2025, which would meet just 2% of the overall fuel requirement. Okay, so still a long way to go. By the middle of the century, the Trade Association says production would jump to 449 billion litres, or 65% of the sector's need. Okay, so yeah, so a long way to go. This is why this company is not going to be moving very fast, very soon. But it's promising. If we've got this help from the government to be able to move this forward, this could be actually quite promising. So we could actually get to the numbers quicker than what we thought. Speaking of numbers, so we have a look at the numbers. We have a look at revenue and forecast, revenue and earnings. As you can see, revenue they're just remaining slightly positive. Okay, which is good. Earnings have obviously decreased in terms of earnings, but this is probably set to be like this for another couple of years. And as you can see here, around about 2024 is really when they're expected to sort of start to become profitable, should we say. So another 2 years down the line, this is probably why you won't see a lot of people investing in a company like this, because it's really a long-term hold. But I think at these prices that we're at the moment, we could be seeing we could have a good return in the next 5 years. So a 5-year hold in this company, buying at $3 a share, is an absolute. I think that it's a bargain. Okay, it's still not to say that this company can fail, but what they've invested and the support that they have, I don't see this sort of going downwards. So again, a long-term hold, and we'll just have to sort of keep our fingers crossed that we're going in the right direction. Now, in terms of Gevo has made some important supply and demand commitments in the last few years. For example, the company has agreements to supply fuels to companies like Delta Airlines, Air Total, SCS Group, and Scandinavian Airlines. These companies are all considering alternatives to jet fuel to save costs and reduce their greenhouse combustion. Gevo is also involved in wind power and renewable energy products, as you can see below. Okay, so here's a diagram on what's happening here. Okay, so yeah, so very promising indeed. Now, in terms of price, we have a look at price target here from Citi. Citi is one of the investors, one of the institutional investors. They're given a price target, and this is just like 10 days ago. Price target of $5. Okay, which is not bad. So considering we're at $3, just over $3 at the moment, $5. is a sort of fair valuation. Okay, so I don't, and yeah, I think that's a fair valuation to be honest with you, based on the numbers. We'll see on Thursday to see how numbers have been affected. Let's see if we can see upside, turn to the upside. Now let's go and have a look at the technical analysis. Let's have a look at the technical analysis on this company. Now, having a look from a technical analysis point of view, we can see here that we're on a downward channel. So plotted out the support level and the resistance level here. So we've got this support level here, which one would guesstimate whether this is actually a true support level, because we did bounce, it bounced back up and it's actually broke through, but we found ourselves coming back through up that level. So we're not too sure whether we could actually break down. So if we're seeing this, there is a strong possibility that we could break down. Bear in mind on the 4-hour chart we're slightly oversold, but we're not down to this 30 level yet. So if we look at the 1-hour chart, on the other hand, if we're going to look at the 1-hour chart, then you would see that it's actually been strongly oversold. So yeah, in terms of a technical analysis view, we could see a further downfall over the next few days. We'll have to keep an eye on it. If it doesn't, and it manages to bounce off these levels and start to come back up to the $4 mark, then it would be actually a good time to be buying them, because we'd like to see a nice upward trend towards back up to this $6, just over the $6 mark on the resistance. It's way below, sorry. We're below our EM moving averages at the moment, which is another good sign. And the RSI is slightly oversold. So yeah, in terms of whether this is a good time to be buying in, I would personally wait to see what happens, and probably wait below the $3 mark. If we go back to these levels up here, so the key level really is the level that is at. So the $3.11. As you can see, if we go back to this level here, we're looking around about the same level. So $3, it breaks down below $3, $3.11, $3, between $3 and $3.11, then we could see actually it breaking down to even further lower levels, even down to $2. So we need to keep an eye on this. If it does, then this would be a good time to be buying in. So that's a little bit from the technical analysis point of view. That's how it looks. If you have any questions or you have any comments down below, I'd love to hear them. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. That really helps my channel grow. And if you like this video, give that a big thumbs up, because that really helps my channel grow. Guys, thank you for watching. Speak to you soon. Take care now. Bye bye.